Previously on this adventure, my son Jordan and I kicked off a 9-day trip where we explored the grand desert of Big Bend National Park in Texas, then headed east to the Gulf Coast to have some fun on the beach of Padre Island National Seashore. After soaking in the ocean air, we made the trek up here to the Arizona mountains to meet up with a great group of folks for the Centerforce Adventure Run 2021, where we have had a great time on the scenic and challenging trail of Backway to Crown King, on which we did encounter a few struggles that kept things interesting. We visited the old Crown King mining town and eventually made it to this awesome campsite for the night. In this episode, we'll continue our travels heading further north into Arizona, exploring some new trails, visiting some interesting sites, doing some more camping and cooking, and I still have a couple more folks that I want to ask why they enjoy running a manual transmission on the trail. Stay tuned. Well, good morning. What a beautiful morning it is. Waking up to the fresh air, the pine trees, the birds chirping. And it was a great night last night. We were afraid it was going to be a little too chilly, but it was actually pretty warm in the tent. And this morning, having some coffee, eating a little breakfast, just hanging out with everybody. It's just been a nice, relaxing morning. Now we're packing up and getting ready to hit the trail. And I honestly have no idea where we're going today, but it should be fun. And we'll end up at another cool campsite, hopefully like this tonight, eating some good chow and just having some good camaraderie. Today's going to be a fun day. I'm excited to see what's to come. After a nice, relaxing morning, and just before the driver's meeting, we needed to recognize a young man who, in my opinion, was spending a birthday the best way you can on an adventure.
Happy birthday, dear Mason. Happy birthday to you.
So did we have a good day yesterday?
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. So it was a lot of technical stuff. You know, you could kind of make it as hard or as easy as you wanted to. So it was a good day. We didn't, well, I guess we broke some stuff, but not a whole lot of stuff, which is good. Let's hope that that trend continues today. So what we're going to do is we're going to get out of here. We're going to head back towards Crown King. We're actually going to go blow by it. We're going to go by the Cleator Yacht Club, which will become important later. And we're going to go do a trail called Turkey Creek. It is aptly named because there's a creek down there, and we're going to cross it about 20 or 30 times. But it's a real cool trail. It's probably, there's a couple of spots on it, but it's not as maybe as hard as what yesterday was. So very scenic at the beginning. The ends of it's a little bit bumpy, but at the end of it is something kind of cool that we're going to check out as well. But he's just about packed up, so if anything, we might actually get out of here maybe a little bit early. This is going to be a long day, so I'm probably going to push in a little bit harder to keep everybody rolling because we do have a lot of miles to cover today. So anyway, we're going to, and then after we get done with Turkey Creek, we're going to kind of backtrack a bit into Spring Valley and get some fuel. So we'll top off, and then we're going to go do a portion of the Great Western Trail. Right on. Well, yeah, let's finish getting packed up, and we'll get out of here in just 2 minutes.
With the driver's meeting all wrapped up, all the vehicles packed up and back on the trail, it was time to begin our descent down the other side of the mountain to begin the next leg of this trip. Over the next 2 days, we'll put in just over 100 miles on the dirt and explore some unforgettable places. wasn't long until we reached the bottom of the mountain and turned off of Crown King Road onto Turkey Creek. Turkey Creek is an 11-mile trail that zigzags through the mountains in a northwesterly direction, crossing the creek several times. This trail is difficult, and there are some sections that require high clearance and a couple of tight technical areas that will demand some excellent driving skills. The kind of trail we like. All right, let's go get after it.
Up in the mountains up near Crown King, we were surrounded by granite, which is an igneous rock, which is one that is basically would turn from a liquid hot magma into a solid rock, usually underground. Igneous rock, but also metamorphic rock. So metamorphic rock is rock that was either metamorphic rock, which is sort of confusing, igneous rock, or sedimentary rock, that then got heated up or pressurized enough to almost liquefy, but not quite.
We had been on the trail for a few hours, and everybody was having a blast thus far. And up to this point, all the obstacles were navigated pretty easily, but this section did get a little off camber while making a sharp turn. Now, it doesn't look so intense on camera, but let me tell you, the seat of the pants feeling here will make you definitely slow down. Vern's Jeep made easy work of this, but Marco and I with the trailers did have to slow down and take things easy. But that didn't stop us from being able to navigate this just fine. I think what was most interesting was the XJ. This is the least built vehicle of the group, but least built doesn't equal least capable. This old XJ was climbing over everything this whole trip with ease. Just goes to show you that you don't need to spend a lot of money to have a great adventure. Okay, let's hear from Sean as to why he loves driving a manual on the trail.
So my preference for manual comes from obviously way better control, way better crawl ratio. I feel like today everybody's gone to like 40-inch tires, automatic, and so much of what we love and what we grew up doing off-roading was all about your lines and really technical sections and kind of picking your way through obstacles. And today I feel like it's so point and shoot. You just go that way, hit the throttle, and you don't have to do anything but steer, and it's sort of boring. So being on the trail with a manual and being able to operate 3 pedals and a shifter and a steering wheel and actually use your brain to get around. All my friends who wheel, oh dude, you automatic, they laugh at me for being the manual guy. So this thing with 488 gears, 37s, manual trans is a 101-to-1 crawl ratio. I mean, how do you beat that?
This next obstacle for the day along the trail is one that is a little technical because you are hugging a rock wall on the driver's side and there is a good drop off on the passenger side and it's a bit rutted out with some loose rocks. You really need to take your time here. Going too fast could cause your suspension to bounce a bit, and if you didn't get the line right you could go too close to the edge and then, well, it could be a bad rollover situation. Having a second set of eyes was just a little bit extra peace of mind as we all inched our way through this, but no problems.
Well, at the age of 10, my parents taught me how to drive a manual just in case my mom had to give birth and I had to drive her to the hospital. So ever since then, I've driven a stick shift, and honestly, it makes me feel really connected to the vehicle in ways that an automatic just doesn't do it.
The remainder of Turkey Creek is not terribly technical, but bumpy enough to keep your speed down, and we were running a little behind schedule for our planned lunch stop.
Stop here, take a minute to check out the yacht club. This will also be lunch, but we're a little bit behind schedule, so let's try to make it as quick as possible.
We arrived to the old gold mining town of Cleator a little later than expected, but this is a must-stop location if you're in the area. Cleator is an old gold mining town that was established in 1864 and is a popular destination for off-roaders exploring in this area. The town is filled with lots of eclectic items, and the most popular stop here is, yes, a yacht club in the middle of the desert. Be sure to go into the bar and say hello and check out all the memorabilia and grab a cold one while you're here. During our lunch stop, the guys from Summit Racing, a local off-road shop, made an on-trail house call to come out and fix one of American Adventure Lab's Jeep brake lines. Talk about service. These guys were awesome. We've had a great day today out on the trail, coming down from the mountains and into the desert and running Turkey Creek, and now we've ended up here. And there's a yacht club here. We're in the middle of the desert, and yes, there is a big yacht behind me. A little out of place, but kind of eclectic. It's kind of cool. Now we are having some lunch, getting a couple little repairs done, and then we are going to head down the Great Western Trail. We got a lot more miles to put in, find a good camping spot, but it's been a great day. Awesome time. After leaving our mark in the bar's registry book, it was time to head out of town. We did stop to top off our fuel tanks, as many of the non-diesel vehicles were getting pretty low on fuel, but we still had many miles to go, so everybody needed to top off here. The next leg of our adventure will take us along the Bloody Basin Trail and then onto a section of the Great Western Trail. The Great Western Trail is a 4,455-mile trail system that goes from Canada all the way down to Mexico. But unfortunately, not all of the trail is motorized, and a good portion of it is hiking only. But there's still hundreds of miles to explore in a vehicle. This was the easiest section of terrain on this trip so far, and it was kind of nice to take a little bit of a driving break and sit back and just cruise along and enjoy the scenic dirt road. Our camping spot is just up ahead. All right, so we're wrapping up day 2, and it has been a great day, but we have put in a lot of miles going through Turkey Creek and then coming through the Great Western Trail. It's been awesome. We finally found a really nice camp spot out here in the woods along this river. It's a little tight, but we're gonna make it fit, and Marco has got dinner duty tonight, so I know dinner's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good night, and the temperature is pretty good, so we should be set tonight. The guys are skipping rocks behind us. This is gonna be great fun.
Not your best work, not your best work.
Buddy, what is going on, man? What a day.
It was awesome. This trail is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it was a little long, but it was fun.
It was fun.
And
Super
I don't think we've ever camped in a spot like this.
Nope.
I mean,
Nice.
it's a little tight in here, but it's kind of cool.
It's got a river view.
You're cooking right on the water. I don't know. River is a little bit of a stretch. Okay, I know you're excited about what you're making for dinner, and I've had this before, but tell everybody what you're making tonight.
Making birria
Okay, and what is that?
on the pressure cooker. So I made this adobo with different chiles, and the meat has been marinating in that adobo. There's actually the recipes on my channel.
Yeah, buddy.
In Baja. I made that in Baja, remember?
Yep. Yeah, guys, definitely go check out Overland X on YouTube. Lots of great cooking videos over there. And Marco, I know the camp's going to be smelling good here soon. And I also like that we brought an off-road apple pie.
Yep. You guys come in here.
Because Marco volunteered to cook dinner for such a large group tonight, he had prepared many of tonight's meal in advance. But, of course, he insisted the salsa had to be made fresh. Marco, you've got a new blender, dude. That used to be a little tiny handheld
Yes.
blender. What's going on with this big one?
Well, the little one, I have to make the salsas in batches.
Yeah.
This, I just make the whole salsa at once.
Nice. Well, you've got a big battery pack, so no problem running that
No
thing.
problem.
Right?
1500 watt.
All right, man. Smelling good, dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know that
Oh,
face.
yeah.
I know that face. My sinuses will be clear tonight. As Marco was working on dinner preps, everybody else was getting settled in. The sun did begin to set and the temperature started to drop. It was going to be a little chilly tonight. I took a few moments tonight to walk around camp and check out how everyone was packing up their vehicles. I always find it interesting to see what people bring with them on long trips like this and how they decide to pack them. Some are more organized and others are a little more casual. There's really no right or wrong way here, just whatever works for you, but it's always cool to look. Dinner, as always when Marco is cooking, was delicious. Spirits were high around camp, and we had a great evening around the fire. What an amazing day. Well, good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful morning out here. Got the sun coming up on the trees, got the creek here, got the smell of breakfast and laughter in the background. It has just been a perfect morning. We're in no rush today. We're just gonna kind of get up, casually go, and then we've got more of the Great Western Trail that we're gonna explore today. This is our last day on the trail, but I'll tell you what, we've been having a lot of fun. This group, this has been a fun group to hang out with. So today's gonna be good fun, guys. I can't wait to get started.
Everybody. I just wanted to say thanks to our camp chefs throughout the weekend. Ollie, Marco, and then Jeff this morning with some awesome pancakes. Super awesome.
Yep.
Great food. Definitely a challenge to serve that level of cuisine out here in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, next level truly. So yeah, so today is going to be a lot like yesterday afternoon, just very beautiful, but bumpy and slow. But nothing super hard or anything like that. So the master plan is we are just right outside of the thriving metropolis of Dugas, which is consists of about 6 or 7 shacks and maybe a house. We're going to cross back over the 17, so we'll be over on the west side of it again. We'll be on Highway 169, which is actually kind of a back way to Prescott, wouldn't you call it that? But we're only going to be on the road for like a mile, so we're not going to worry about airing up or anything like that. We're going to turn off, and we're going to continue on the Great Western Trail, but we're going to be going through Cherry and eventually making our way up back into the pine trees. We'll kind of be skirting around the backside of Mount Mingus, which is outside of Cottonwood, for those of you that are familiar with that. And then we will be popping out on 89A.
Well, we've been on the trail for a while today. We've been in a lot of miles, and we've arrived up here in the mountains in the pine trees to stop for lunch. And that's what I love about Arizona is, you know, you think of Arizona as this hot, barren desert, but you can be up in the mountains. We're over 6,700 feet in the pine trees. It's beautiful up here. This is awesome. This entire trip has been amazing. A huge thanks to Centerforce for inviting us out here, and a special thanks to Trent for leading us through all these amazing trails and seeing all these great places. This has been such a wonderful adventure. I hope you guys have enjoyed checking it out. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss our next adventure. Thanks for watching.